In the editing video I just recently posted, I talked about my favorite way to write, which is the endless sequencer, where I just type stuff in randomly and I get something out of it. Start with a nice, thick, juicy sequence. One day I walk into the office, I turn on the OP1 field, I hit the endless sequencer just to see what was on there, and that's the sequence that was on there, and I have no recollection of putting that on there. I immediately put it together with the Moog Mother 32 semi-modular. It's got a keyboard, and I dialed in a really fat bass. I put the whole thing through this generation loss pedal, which if you don't know what that is, it just makes everything lo-fi and it's dope. Once I got that sequence and the bass line fleshed out, I needed a bed for all that to lay in. I pulled up the Mellotron flute that I got off of op1.fun. One thing that I was missing that I really love to bring to all of my songs is something organic, and what better thing, for me at least, is the Martin. Acoustic guitar is the thing that splits up all of the electronic kind of cold, lifeless stuff. It gives it this organic feel. So I threw that in as well. I just split the guitar left and right, and I mean, it was, you know what I mean? Like the guitars, the poly root bed, just holding that sequence through, which took it all the way to the midsection of the song where you have this choppy, crazy thing going on, and that is the Morphagene by Make Noise. The Make Noise Morphagene is a tape machine, sampler, granular synthesizer, pitch shifter, time stretcher. It's super difficult to tame, but when you do, when you can, it does all kinds of great things. You record something into it, that's called a reel, and then you slice that reel up into splices. So what I did was I put the sequence, the main sequence, in through it, recorded the whole thing, I chopped that into slices, and then I sent LFOs into all of the other places where you can send LFOs to that just mangle the entire thing. Typically what I run into is that I can't get anything straight out of this. It's always like almost perfect, which makes it great for sampling. You can find a musical piece that's relatively in time with what you're doing somewhere within the sample, and then sample that and use that or whatever. And that's what I did with the sequence. And also what I did with this thing was my voice. I recorded my voice with, oh man, the CM15 by Teenage Engineering. I love this thing. I didn't think I would like this as much as I do, but it's really versatile. It sounds beautiful. It's totally clean. It's a little fat. It's a little on the heavy side, of the low end side, but it just kind of depends on the proximity. There is a distance that you need to be to get like a neutral sound. It has the great ability, since it's a super cardioid microphone, to pick up what's in front of it and not what's on the side of it or behind it. Although it does, it's not perfect, but compared to at least my Rode NTK, this thing is awesome. So I put my voice through the CM15 into this with just a 3.5 millimeter cable and recorded my vocals into it, singing something generic, something whatever, over the sequence, and then chopped it up, sent a bunch of LFOs into it to mangle it, and sampled it. And that's what you hear at the second trippy part of the song. I would have clocked my entire modular with the OP1 field, except I have this module called Stolperbeats by Making Sound Machines. You can program in BPMs, but this is a hip hop drum sequencer delight. Like instant lo-fi hip hop stumbling beats. It's so incredible. I love this thing, and they deserve all of the attention that they can possibly get. Because this thing is incredible. They make some really, really nice modules. So I clocked it with the Stolperbeats, and in the video you see that it's all plugged in. All bunch of stuff is plugged in, but I'm really only using the Stolperbeats to clock the LFOs to clock the Morphagene. to keep everything in pace. Hey, one thing I didn't use was my KO2. I'm still trying to have fun with this thing, man. I gotta be honest. Maybe I'll come out with a KO2 video, maybe not. We'll see. You know that update that Teenage Engineering came out with? The merge drop? I tried to use it on this last one, but fear came over me. Because when you do merge drop, you also freeze all the volumes and pans and all that stuff. And since I'm mixing my stuff all the way through as I go, I found it terrifying to commit. The whole fun with the OP1 field is the mistakes, the happy accidents. Honestly, I've gotten the best stuff I've ever done on the OP1 field by losing stuff and having to recreate it. As far as filming and camera work, I use the Sony ZV-E10. It's a beautiful camera. I don't know anything about cameras. I just know that it was affordable, the reviews were great, and it came with a lens. As far as the microphone for this talking head stuff, I use a Rode Video Mic Go. I'll probably end up using this thing and selling the Rode. What else? There is a technique that I used on this video that I stumbled on by accident by doing this video that reminded me of one of the most important lessons I've ever learned in music production. Whoever it was told me, don't overcompress. Don't squeeze it. You're gonna squeeze the life out of it. Just keep it, you know, just a little bit, just enough to where you can kind of hear it and kind of feel it. That was the worst advice I ever got in my entire life, man. Because of that piece of advice, everything after that for many, many years was always, don't push it too far. Don't go too far. Just kind of, you know, do the thing that everyone else does. And that is a bunch of bullshit, dude. It wasn't until the OP1 field that I cranked the compressor and it blew my mind. And it was because I put the compressor all the way at 100 and it sounded so dope. And right in that moment, I thought, I am never gonna follow the rules again until I break them first. And then I'll decide which rules I wanna follow. And that's exactly what I did with this camera thing. I went outside and I filmed the bell. The bell part of this video is really shaky and warpy and all that stuff. The way I got that was I really like to back up and zoom in so that I get the most faded background, like bokeh background, bokeh de pepo. But when you do that, the shot becomes more sensitive, it's more shaky and stuff. So I was just kind of moving the camera or whatever, getting set up, and then I put all of the footage into processing, into DaVinci Resolve, which is what I use. In this particular situation, I just decided, what if I try to stabilize that? So I cranked the stabilizer as hard as I could, just like the compressor, just to see what would happen. And that's what it did. Then I just started filming everything all crazy. Lesson learned all over again. So huge parallel between music production and film production. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening to the song. I hope you liked it as much as I love making it. Probably not. It's someone else's music, you know? It's kind of like, well, if you're not like Mount Rushmore, then you're just another guy making music. But at least here, I have fun sharing it with you guys and talking about it. Again, thank you so much for the comments. Thank you so much for engaging with me. The conversations are awesome. I love this stuff. I love talking about it. Thank you. Later, dudes.